Hi, welcome to You Can Do Medicine. My name's Tom and I'm a first year medical student at Edinburgh University. Good to see you. And so today we're following on with our essential study techniques and we'll be looking at active recall. So what is active recall? And I suppose it's something that we all use every day. Everything from doing our weekly tests that we do at uni and trying to remember what it is we've learned for the week, to try and find your phone before you leave in the morning. And the basic principle of it is just simply trying to remember what it is you've learned or some fact of sorts that you should recall. Now, it seems simple and it's vital for all aspects of life, but particularly as a doctor with the vast amount of information that we need to learn, being able to remember it is vitally important. So what have I been doing then? So the key thing and the most important thing I would say is Anki. If you've not been using Anki, I think it's an absolute must. At least give it a go and see if it works for you. I've certainly found that it works for me, and I think that it probably works for the majority of people that I've spoken to in the year. We're very lucky, and there's actually a guy, Ryan. If you don't know Ryan, maybe go and speak to him nicely and he'll send you a link to this massive bank of questions that he has, which are relevant for both the anatomy and body and motion stuff that we do. But so with Anki, it's essentially just flashcards that either you've made yourself or, like me, you just use Ryan's and you answer the question, whatever it is, and then you go to the next page and it will the answer will be there, and you can mark it as either easy, so you might not see that again for another like 10 days. You might have said that it was sort of average, so you might see it again tomorrow, or you might say difficult, you didn't really know the answer at all, or you were way off, in which case you do it again in like 10 minutes time. And Anki will sort of what's the word, like it'll put them into an order so that you're getting the ones that you're finding difficult, and it'll prioritise them over the ones that you said are easy. As say, you can put any sort of time scale on it that you want, and so you could set it so that the easy ones you still see tomorrow, that the difficult ones you get in like 1 minute, and the sort of average ones you might see in like 6 hours. What I would say is if you are setting those kind of time scales, you're probably using Anki too much, because you can't be spending your life doing it. But there's loads of videos on it. Just go and watch a YouTube video. It'll tell you what to do, set it up, and it'll change the way that you learn big time. The second thing that I use is the Grey's Anatomy flashcards. I got these second hand. It's a bit beat up, the box, but the cards are all there and fine. And so they look like this. Now, this is what most Anki cards look like, to be honest. This is obviously leg and pelvis, and it's got different arrows on it to different features, and you just look at it, go through it, try to remember it, and then on the back are all the answers. Now, I find these really helpful. I just carry around a bundle of them. These are lower limb, got an entire section of them here, and I just work my way through them in spare time. Obviously one of the things with these are that, unlike with using Anki where you can prioritise them, with these you could do it by sort of putting them into different piles, but then they wouldn't be in order, and I would probably lose track of them and they would just get muddled up if I did that. But they're a great secondary thing to have because they're visual, and I'm quite a visual learner. When I'm trying to remember things, I don't remember things just by reading a book. If I was told to read chapter whatever and learn about something, it's just not a good thing for me to, and not a good way for me to learn. Whereas I can, close my eyes and visualize the diagram of a book or I can like visualize this. I've actually looked at this particular one a lot, just because it's the first, the first of the flashcards there, so it's always at the top of the pile. And I can close my eyes and visualize each aspect of it, and sort of figure out where the arrows are and remember them from that aspect. And even with what we did previously, where we're saying the coracoid process is the origin of your pectoris minor. I don't remember that just as a fact, or even on myself, even though like showing where it is. I remember that from a diagram that I saw in a book in an anatomy lab. And so the way that I remember that kind of thing is when I'm walking up Arthur's Seat. So when I'm going up round Holyrood Park there, I'll quite often just try to remember facts. And so whether it be working my way through the superficial muscles of your forearm, or trying to remember the citric acid cycle, Krebs cycle, all these kind of things, and working the way through, it normally gives me a good list of what I still need to work on. So that's another aspect of active recall, I suppose. With active recall, I believe that it's 7 times is the key number. So if you can actively recall something 7 times in 7 different places or situations, then you should essentially remember it for life. I believe that that's taken into consideration a sort of time scale, if you will. I think if you were to try to recall something 7 times in 7 different places in 7 different hours or days even, then you might not remember it forever, but like spread over 6 months, say, you would. So it's worthwhile keeping that in mind, and it's also helpful because it means that you sort of reinforce that there's no point in looking at this particular flashcard continually over and over for an hour, because the chances are that you aren't going to remember it by the end of the week. You need to spread it out and test yourself with it. Anyway, so that's active recall. Hopefully that's helpful for some people, and I'll see you soon. Bye.